Hello and welcome to Versus Live. I'm Ross Marion.
I'm Corey Baumeister.
And we've got Rob in the booth. Say hi, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Rob will be taking all of your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure to tag at Star City Games so he can see them and send his favorites over to us. We are wrapping up day one in our exploration of post-Core 21 Standard.
Yeah.
We're finishing with two really cool decks that are developing some nice synergies that are really helped out by the Planeswalkers from this latest set. And I know I expressed some concern with them, but I actually really like the one that's in your deck. I forgot about this one when I was thinking about that. You know, the Liliana that's in mine, I think is a fine card, and I do like the synergies that are developed around it in this shell.
Yeah.
But you do need that kind of, you know...
You need help.
You need that help.
Yeah.
Boss Cat, I think, is just a fine card by itself.
Yeah.
In just a white aggressive deck.
I do think you need creatures to make it better, though.
Sure. That tends to happen in white aggressive decks, so easy to make work.
Yep.
But here you really are getting, you know, extra value out of that because of the synergy with the Bostri's Lieutenant as well.
Yep. And the one thing that I do like about Bostri's Lieutenant, this card I'm more unsure about. This kind of reminds me of Gideon. You know, Gideon, the not Juar, the 3-mana one that you tick up, Indestructible, Vigilance, or Lifelink.
Blackblade.
Getting the
Blackblade. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Blackblade. You know, it's a very similar top ability, but the counter is different. Putting a counter on instead of just the ability for one turn, you get to stack something up.
It's like a John A. Call Other Pride.
Yeah.
That one put counters on things, but it's -3 just flying a double strike.
Yeah.
Here, like, you're not as, you know, going taller, you're going wide with the minus ability.
Yeah.
But just getting more bodies to start spreading +1/+1 counters on round 2 is really nice.
It does seem sweet. And honestly, we haven't had a 3-mana Planeswalker that's been an aggressively slanted Planeswalker since Oko. But that was also a controlling Planeswalker. It was also a combo Planeswalker. That one was too good. But this is, you know, it's picking a lane, and it's kind of picking that aggressive lane instead of Teferi being great as a control card, Narset being great as a control card. So I like this. And one thing I do really like about Bostri's Lieutenant is just the first or the second line of text, protection from multicolored. It seems like it's not great, but we look at Stonecoil Serpent right now, and that card is doing some damage because of that clause. Because, well, you know, you're fighting against the most played card in Standard and arguably the best card in Standard, Teferi Time Reveler, that we still have to deal with here for a little bit more time. But being able to find a way where this doesn't just get bounced, you know, when it comes into play, that's a plus you need to have as a 4-drop creature, in my opinion. So
yeah, no, I completely agree. It provides protection against sweepers, so you're not that scared extending it into something like a Shatter the Sky, because you'll probably get left with an extra, you know, 2 2/2s or something. If you just go, you know, any creature on the first 2 turns, Bostri, give that a counter, then Lieutenant, give itself a counter. I guess when the Bostri doesn't need a counter
on target creature. Wow, you can target itself, so that's pretty sick. If you go Bostri into Bostri's Lieutenant, I just noticed they were the same name too, by the way, so that's impressive. But if you do this and you have one other creature, put a counter on that, attack, and then put a counter on this, then yeah, you're right, you shatter, I get 2 2/2s, and I draw a card.
Yeah, so you can set yourself up really well against sweepers. You're not going to get bounced by Teferi. You're going to, you know, have this really nice aggressive force, and in your deck, you're gaining a bunch of life if you're in aggro mirrors.
Yeah.
You're getting big creatures with Ajani's Pridemate and the Ajani that makes Ajani's Pridemate. You know, you're pumping up Healer's Hawks and turning them into a significant force. So you've got tools against control, you've got tools against aggro, you've got pressure against reclamation decks.
I would assume that we don't have enough pressure against reclamation decks on paper. That would be the one bad matchup I would see, like, for sure. But like, control decks, I'm not too afraid of that. And I mean, even like Jund Food, you know, this does get around the Mayhem Devil triggers and stuff like that, and it does seem like you could be aggressive enough to push over that and just go wide against that deck. So yeah, I think this honestly has a really good potential to have a good place. Now, if an 80-card Yorion beatdown deck is exactly where we want to go for our mono white deck, I doubt it. But you know what? There was a really cool mono white devotion / mid-rangey deck that was played this last weekend in one of the MTG Melee events that I covered for, and it just lost playing for top 8. And that's without the upgrades, and it looked awesome, you know, just focusing on these synergies with Ajani Pridemate and the Planeswalkers. So I think it has hope.
I agree. I think it looks really cool. On my side, I'm going to be playing a Rakdos sacrifice deck essentially, but this one utilizes the graveyard a lot more readily so that it can take advantage of Liliana Waker of the Dead.
The thing I love the most about this card here is the re-inclusion of Timurit Calls the Dead. You were saying how important during an 8-card standard set is that synergy. It does become important. 8-set standards. Your decks. You look at 8-set standard blocks in the past. These decks are all insane. They're all very, very good decks. You got to have these things working together. And I love this combo where you just get some creatures and then your ability is very good next turn. So,
you're killing your creature, then you're starting to strip your opponent's hand. It's fine. You've got, access to your cards in the graveyard with escape. You've got Lurrus in your deck to access cards in the graveyard. You can discard cats and return them with food.
Notably not a companion zone because I think Lurrus is essentially dead. Put it in the main deck. It's still a good card, No,
and I'm excited to see Lurrus pop up in people's main decks because I think this is a cool card. There is not a lot of spot removal around, so it's going to live, a lot of the time. It's going to do some busted things, and between Lurrus, Kroxa, Liliana, you can really empty your opponent's hand quite quickly.
Yeah.
So a lot of these really powerful decks that we've seen in Standard over the last couple months are decks that want to play a very resource-rich game of Magic, and they're not used to having their resources constricted as much as this deck can.
Yeah.
So that I like. We've got a good amount of removal in this matchup, so this matchup should be fun, should be interactive.
It should be close. And then a couple sideboard cards that we've already seen in our first deck, but Rune Halo, Baneslayer might be okay. You're going to have some removal to deal with. I don't think it's an all-star in this matchup like it is against Red, but Rune Halo on Kroxa, I'm pretty interested in. That card, that seems pretty nice. Red-black decks have historically struggled against enchantments.
Yeah.
There's just not much ways to actually deal with that. Does the removal spell?
It's a lose 3 life from the Kroxa trigger, though.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot worse.
Damage because it doesn't target either.
No, you have protection from.
Yeah, but if it doesn't target you or make you deal damage, then protection is it.
Yeah, you can't be targeted, dealt damage, or enchanted. Yeah, so it doesn't say anything about lose life. So yeah, maybe that's not great, but I mean, it's interesting. I may bring it in, I may not. Cat deals damage, right?
Cats will lose life, I gain a life.
All right, let's get this card out of here.
Mainly just going to stop some beatdowns.
Okay, perfect.
It will stop Mayhem Devil from going upstairs.
Yeah.
But it won't stop Mayhem Devil from wreaking havoc on the battlefield.
True. One other thing that this match is not going to stop, though? Your marble's coming over to my side there, buddy. Unfortunately, you are 0-2 on this one, so we'll have to be taking those back from you. Oh, yeah. Let me take those spoils. There's nothing better than having that third match where you get to, let your shoulders down, flip your hair out a little bit, and just really let loose, I just
don't think you've ever flipped your hair in your entire life.
It doesn't move. You're right.
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah. I like that that's what you that you focused on there. All right, Rob, you got a question for us while we get ready for this match?
Yeah, you built this mono white deck with an Eorian build. Do you think that is really worth it, or should you just try to be a leaner aggro deck?
Easily could be something you should do otherwise, but there is still some good synergies with Eorian that I wanted to take advantage of. Blinking the Lieutenant, pretty awesome, and just having this late game access to the 8th card I think is great. Plus, have you met me? Have you ever seen any content I've made since Ikoria? This card's amazing. I love it. I love putting it in my deck. So
you get a lot of strong late game cards. So one of the things that really helped out the white aggressive decks, I guess a couple of things, was the unique power of both Legion's Landing and History Vidalia.
Oh, yeah.
You don't really have replacements for either of those cards, so you're just playing sort of a pile of kind of mediocre 1-drops, where Legion's Landing was a really, really powerful 1-drop.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally.
And you don't have a real replacement for Legion's Landing or really Benelish Marshal.
Yeah.
You do have some powerful cards. I think the new Adanto Vanguard S card is quite good.
I don't think that card's good. I think discarding versus paying life is such a cost.
Certainly worse than Adanto Vanguard.
Yeah.
But if you're playing Lurrus in your deck, you can mitigate the downside of it pretty easily. And just being able to extend to the battlefield and not get blown up by Shatter the Sky, I think is really important.
True. I do think it's still good, but I just look at it in comparison to Adanto Vanguard and how often I want to save the last bit of cards I have. So it's a little scary, but I'll be interested to see how that goes. But an avenue like that where we get rid of Yorion, bring it back down to 60 cards, play beatdown with that kind of card, and see what else we can have, and ignore the life gain theme and stuff. That's another way to build this white deck. So
and Boss Rear would be great in that kind of deck.
Is this a good start, Rob, for a hand? Right? That's pretty good, right?
Oh, that's perfect.
I don't know what it is, but my hand's mediocre.
Well, it started with this, and then it didn't end with land, so I'm going to mulligan.
I'm still keeping it.
Okay.
It's the bottom end of the keep range, but it's in there.
Okay. Your bottom end of your keep range is a lot higher than mine.
That is true.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what the bottom end of your keep range is, because it's hands that I just mulligan without even a second thought.
You know it. You don't. You clearly aren't from a place where I was in North Dakota. You can play blackjack in any establishment in North Dakota, so you gotta have a little gamble with you at all times.
You mean like in a bar?
In any bar, yeah.
What about in like a Chili's?
Yeah, Chili's, no problem. Actually, there are some restaurants. I swear, there are restaurants that just have a blackjack table in the back. Like, they're all for charity, so it's cool. But yeah, that is a very weird thing about North Dakota.
You go there and you play blackjack for charity?
Charity, yeah. That's the only way they can be ran, is they have to be raising money for a charity. So some percentage goes to that.
Oh,
otherwise,
you still win money, but their rate goes to the charity.
Their rate goes to charity, yeah.
Is it all their rate, or just some percentage?
Some percentage.
So the rate must be absurdly high.
I don't know the specifics behind it, but I know that's the only way they could do it. I dealt blackjack as one of my jobs for a long time down there, but yeah, it's just weird, right? Doesn't that seem like something that shouldn't be in restaurants?
It's like when you go to like Vegas and there's just slot machines everywhere.
Yeah,
that's what I would compare it to. I remember the first time I went to Vegas, when I walked out of the airport. The airport was covered in slot machines. And I was like, really? Like I assume a lot of it is people who are on their way out.
Yeah.
I can't imagine like landing and being like, okay, I've got to get to the nearest slot machine.
Exactly.
Stopping in the airport. But like, you just spent some amount of time in Vegas, like you're going somewhere else, and you're just like, you know what? I'm going to get in another 2 hours of gambling right before I leave. Maybe get to the airport early.
Yeah.
You
don't see it? I've definitely played the old airport slot machines before out of sheer boredom. My attention span, though, is not high. I don't know if you've noticed.
When we went to Vegas, what was it, 2 years ago for the tour?
Yeah.
Our flight got delayed, and I came close to thinking about it. I won't lie.
Yeah.
When I flew back from Paris from that pro tour, I remember they just had video game consoles at the terminal.
Okay.
And I was like playing a PlayStation game, waiting for the airport, and I was like waiting for the plane. And I just like couldn't believe it. I was like, this is great.
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
a genius idea right there.
Yeah.
I hear they have something like that at DFW. I think I saw some news article about that.
So shout out to Charles de Gaulle Airport.
I am going to keep. I'm on a mold of 5, though, so I got to ship 2 things. It's going to be a pretty tough game to win regardless. But yeah, let's put these to the bottom, and let's do it.
Okay, I'll start on a temple.
Okay.
Land to the bottom. Don't need that.
Okay. All right. Hawk. Here we go.
Interesting. Oops.
Well, my hand is very bad, but that's going to happen when you mold a 5.
So I'll play an oven.
Okay.
And I'll tap for a black. I'll play an oven.
Okay. Okay. I like that you specified the black.
Yeah, I had to put the fear into you.
You did. Okay.
19 to 21.
Your go.
Didn't have the pride mate. That would have been the scary thing.
Oh, I didn't have a lot of things. Don't you worry.
Okay, I will go to 18 or 17.
Okay.
And play Timurit Calls the Dead.
Sure.
So top 3. Then I can exile a creature or enchantment. Let's exile the Mire Triton and get a zombie. So
Zombone.
Then pass the turn.
Big draw step. All right, we needed that. Still in a lot of trouble. Now, what is the best thing to do right now? All right, I think we're going to start with Heliod, and I'll attack for 1.
That's scary. I'm at 18, you're at 22.
All right, put a counter on the Hawk. Here you go.
So I'll draw for turn, mill 3.
Okay.
Okay, so let's mill the Mayhem Devil, since that one you can't cast with Luris.
Yep.
Exile that, I mean. Make another
of course,
zombie.
Yeah.
What's your life total, Ross?
I'm at
18 to 22, right?
18, yeah.
Yeah. Or did you take 2 with?
It's-
sorry,
yeah, I was gonna say
shock,
it's 16.
Yeah,
That's
so I'm
fine.
at 16, yeah.
All right. Game loss. What do you think, Rob? Let's get him out of here.
Okay. He's already lost the marbles. Let's not kick him while he's down.
That's true. That's true. He's already lost it all.
Okay. Attack with Justin Parnell.
All right, I'm at 20.
Fable Passage, sack. Get a swamp.
Okay.
I will cast a Croxa.
Okay.
Put the sack ability on the stack, then the discard ability.
I'm going to actually discard Basri here. It's just not good. It's just not good at the moment.
Then with the sack trigger on the stack, I'll sack it to an oven.
Okay.
Get 2 food.
2 foods, yep.
And then I'll do that again.
Okay. Discard a Venerated Loxodon.
Okay. You can go.
Chris Barone would be proud. Okay.
Let's try to empty Corey's hands. See, as long as this Heliod doesn't get online for at least a little bit.
All right, we got a lieutenant. Now, what to put a counter on? If we keep just overloading the Hawk, eventually Acclaim the Firstborn is going to be bad, believe it or not. But it does have protection from multicolored, so if you have Croxa, this thing is holding down the fort. So let's start by putting a counter here. And then I'm going to attack for 3.
13 to 23.
And then trigger from Heliod. Now maybe I want to put a counter here. Yeah. All right. We'll put a counter here and I'll pass to you.
Okay, so draw for turn.
Yep.
Now this
Gain
goes
2
off.
and I lose 2, right?
No, I gain 2 and scry 2.
Oh, okay.
So I'm at
Kind of forgot what
15.
that card did.
Scry 2.
So now Croxa is the worst case or the best case scenario for me. You probably have a lot of options, but we are definitely out of gas. But we did top deck land exactly when we needed it all these times to have a chance in this game, so I can't really complain about my mold of 5, but I'm still gonna.
Don't think we want this one, but I do think we want this.
Okay. So you already drew, right?
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
And Corey's right, I will Croxa.
20.
So I could leave the oven for Luris, or I can leave an extra creature just for more Timurit Calls the Dead, or Liliana. I think I'd rather just leave the creature. Don't really need to recast an oven.
Sure.
So you lose 3, go back down to 20.
Yep.
And I have no good attacks, so I'll pass.
Not bad, not bad.
Going to be really awkward for Corey to try to return this Yorion now.
Yeah, that's not great. But instead, I'm going to stall a little bit more while I think about what I'm going to do. Okay. Let's attack with these 2. Or this has Vigilance. Holy, this card's good. This card's like the white questing beast. It's got some keywords.
So I do think I want to protect my life total.
Okay.
So I will block.
Lifelink.
I will sack this to get a food.
That's a good point. Okay, take 3.
I'm at 12. You're at 23.
Yeah. Ooh, actually, do I want to
Have played that first, so you can get a
counter on it? I don't think it truly matters. I'd rather go like this, and then I'll play this.
Okay.
Pass to you. Yeah, I suppose that was bad giving it lifelink, but that's okay.
So let's
Yeah, take my hog.
claim that thing.
So you control that. I own it. So it's not going to trigger when it dies for me getting a token, huh?
Correct.
Okay.
Do I want to do this? I guess it's a destroy. Yeah, I forgot this is an exile. So
Okay.
that's much worse then.
All right.
So let's just slam in with these two.
Okay, I'll block this. Take 6 total, essentially. Or take 7. Yeah.
So you go to 16. I go to 16.
I go to 13. Oh, I forgot my life link.
Yeah.
What am I at?
You went up to 23 that turn.
Okay, so I'm at 16.
So you take 3 from this down to 20, 4 from this down to 16. Okay. I gain 4 to 16. So 16 all.
Okay, yep.
And
Math
then
is hard.
sack this, get 2 more food.
Okay. Yeah, you don't usually sack a healer's hawk and get 2 food from it.
No, you don't. Now we've got a Cauldron Familiar, so I will go to
15 to 17?
Yeah, I'll go to 17. You'll go to 15.
All right.
Then I'll pass the turn.
That's not great. So I'm active player. How does the triggers work when this dies and this goes?
You won't be able to
I wouldn't be able to put it on anyways, would I?
So the token's not there when the trigger from Heliod goes on the stick.
That's a problem. That is a definite problem. Let's attack.
Block with Cauldron Familiar.
Yep. No response.
Sack it, get another food.
Okay.
I have another food.
Here we go.
End step, sack of food, bring this back.
Yep.
So 18 for me, 14 for you.
Yep. Heliod does seem pretty good against Rakdos decks.
I think I'm going to... Do I just say... No, there's no reason to... Because I want to have all this food in case I don't...
Yeah, you're at 18. You're chill.
Not the worst draw I've seen. Priest. And now, I'm not even sure if I want to attack with Croxa. I guess this is only 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you give this lifelink, this will just get another counter. That doesn't matter.
Okay.
And I'll definitely kill this. So I don't think there's any reason not to attack. I guess. Oh no, because it's actually worse to attack because you block here and give this a lifelink.
Almost got him.
You gain 4, but take 3.
I was going to give you no takesies backsies after you made that heinous attack, but yeah, good call.
Attacking is bad, and I will just pass the turn.
End step, lifelink. Untap. Ooh.
I don't like ooze.
It's interesting. All right, we got the Planeswalker.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. So Heliod's online. Something gaining indestructible though. Not that big of a deal. Unfortunately. But attack this, so I could put a bunch of tokens into play essentially. Alright, I'll negative.
Negative's fine.
Attacks?
Before you declare.
No!
Eliminate the bossery. That way the Heliod can't attack.
No! Okay, well, I'll attack with these, get 2 tokens. What are they? Shaheens?
Yeah.
White soldiers?
So,
nope.
Cauldron Familiar goes there.
Soldiers.
And then... yeah, I don't think there's any reason to block this. I guess it does take some devotion out of the way. So maybe that's correct, because I'm going to have to grind through it anyway with this priest. So yeah, let's just go like this then. So block the Hunted Witness, block the Croxa.
Okay, I'm thinking if I want to do anything here. Yeah, pass priority.
Sack this, get a food.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Damage.
So this dies, you'll get a lifelink token, which is quite irrelevant.
And you take 1.
Oh, I had the Justin Parnell too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me just. Yeah,
okay.
just have me block all this.
Yeah. I get a 1/1 token. Yeah. This game's just about done. To be honest.
But it's a 1/1 token.
We don't have one. 1/1 lifelink. Rob.
Do we not have those?
The Jerry's, right? Jerry Thompson's.
Yeah.
Okay. This has lifelink, but yeah, whatever.
Okay. So sack this.
Yeah.
Drain you for 1. Do it again. So you get drained for 2. You're at 12. I'm at 20.
Yep.
And That'll probably do it.
Bam Devil? All right. Let's.
I think I can kill you with this after this trigger resolves, but before you block.
Yeah, I think we can move on from that one.
Yeah.
And this match, I don't think either one of us gained something particular from the sideboard. So you want to do another pre? See how this match plays out before we sideboard?
Yeah, you're going to die with it before you get to block.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm dead because you can sack the cat. 6 triggers from the food. You can just sack. Yeah.
So that's why you make all that food. We get to set that up with Mayhem Devil. Let's just play another.
That sounds good. Yeah. All right. Well, nothing really to tell from that. Mull to 5, pretty bad. But the synergies from your deck were awesome. Yeah.
And honestly, if I didn't have that eliminate.
Yeah.
That game might have swung back in your favor.
Yeah. I will say the Planeswalker seemed very bad. If you're ever behind, it's unplayably bad, and that is a bit of a problem for Planeswalkers like that. And that was a big problem for Gideon Blackblade. Whenever you're behind, that card is now unplayable, and you had 2 tokens and I'm like, well, I could cast this, take it up to 4, and then I have to defend it somehow. But the Lieutenant looked awesome. That Lieutenant looked awesome to me.
Pro multicolor came in immediately.
I didn't even know it had vigilance until we started today. There's that. You miss a keyword off Questing Beast, right when that card gets printed, and it feels like the white Questing Beast.
Vigilance, got pro multicolor, counter on something when it enters the battlefield. When things die, you got 2/2 sometimes, but not other times. There's a lot of words on that card.
Exactly. Yeah. It does seem like a powerful enough creature to make an impact in Standard to me. If this is the shell, probably not. But the possibility I think is there.
Yeah, no, it definitely looked good. It was the card that kept you in that game for sure.
Yeah. You know what I'm kind of thinking of? Like, how cool would it be in like a black-white aristocrat deck with like Luminous Broodmoth maybe? Then when you sack stuff with Oven, if it has a counter on it, you get a token as well as maybe bring it back. There's some kind of infinite combo too if you get something that puts a counter on it. Because it gains flying. Yeah. But something like that is something to keep the juices flowing. I think it could be cool,
Definitely some sacrifice synergies to be developed there.
All right, I am going to go first. Okay, we have a good start. Come on. All right, I'll keep. Justice is served.
This hand is just so mediocre. I think this one has to be mulligan.
Here's the thing. You just got to build your deck with all mediocre cards, and then you're never disappointed when your hand is mediocre.
I don't think that's how it works.
That's science, yeah. Can I get a question from you there, Rob?
Yeah. Somebody's asking about the Azorius control deck you had played earlier.
Yeah.
Jim Davis this last weekend had just played a 60-card control deck.
Yep.
So do you think that there's still value to playing the Yorion versions, or is it possibly just right to play 60? Because he said that they were seeing Jim outgrind even like the 80-card Yorion decks.
Yeah. I think it's definitely possible again, and easily could be right. Basically, I think you sacrifice a little bit against aggro by not having Yorion because Omen of the Sun. Yorion Blink is still very, very good, even if it's on turn 8 or whatever, but you definitely gain stuff in Team Rec matchups, stuff like that. So there's give and take. I think Yorion is an anti-aggro blue card, and I think you should just look at it like that now instead of Yorion just should be in every deck. We should make it that way, You still want to play like Omens and stuff like Omen of the Sea and stuff like that. So, all right, pass to you.
Okay, I will play Temple Malice.
Okay.
And we need to find some lands of this hand, so we'll put that on the bottom.
Okay. All right, Pride Made, gain 1.
So I'm at 19, you're at 21?
Yep, here go.
This is going to be a fun match to keep track of life totals.
Oh, yeah.
Cat Oven.
Oh, God.
You're up.
We're really putting Rob to the test here. That was a terrible draw. All right, beat downs.
Block here, sack for food.
Yep. All right, so take 1.
18 to 22.
Yep.
Or no, 19 to 21 again, because we drained when this got cast.
Oh, yeah. We're already
And then
screwing
it's
it
going to be 2020 at the end of this turn.
Yeah, wow. Okay. I just have a hawk, but I missed my land drop, so pass to
I'll
you.
bring this in, and you missing a land drop, and me finding my third land, so I can play Mayhem Devil this turn.
No!
So
No!
I will go to 18, and you can go.
I'm dead. I'm dead. Wow, that is just the worst case scenario.
And a lot of 1 toughness creatures over there.
Thanks, buddy. All right, Lyndon.
Whenever a white creature you control attacks, you gain a life.
Yeah.
So that's going to make the Pride Mate really big, but I'm actually not concerned about that.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I can block it this turn effectively, so yeah, that's fine.
All right, 3 triggers.
Yeah, so you gain 3, you go up to
24.
23, right?
Sure.
So it should be 18 to 23.
Okay.
And then I will block here, sack this, shoot down a hawk with the Mayhem Devil.
Okay.
Then sack the food, shoot down the other hawk.
Okay, so you
and then
take
you go,
nothing.
So I go to 19, you go to 22.
Yep. And then I'll pass to you.
I have no idea what's going on right now.
Yep. It's bad for me. I promise you that.
So do I want to be more mana efficient, or do I want to shoot down this Linden?
Linden Bridge is falling down.
All right, that isn't the worst. Let's
Thank
be honest.
you. Still D- at best, but I'll take it.
Still better than the Pyro one.
Hey. I can't go a full show without a low-hanging fruit of a pun, you know?
I think I just want to deal with the Linden.
Okay.
Though, I guess that does still have me taking an attack from the Pride Mate. I think that's fine, though.
Yeah, I'm in trouble regardless.
Actually, doing this even makes that plan for you not good. So
Okay.
let's just be mana efficient. I'm going to play Priest of Forgotten Gods and Mire Triton, so I'll gain 2.
Okay.
Ooh, I milled a Croxa, that's cool.
Ooh.
So I'm at 21, you're at 22?
Yeah.
And then I'll pass the turn. Now this gets my Priest active. I have a Death Touch creature for the Ajani's Pride Mate. So you don't really have good attacks here. Still have Oven left in case you have some sort of exile removal.
Johnny?
Strength of the Pride.
I'm going to make a copy. We probably do not have a Benny Smith over here, huh? That's okay. All right.
I totally forgot that made tokens.
Yeah, that's okay.
So another Ajani's Pride Mate.
Yeah, it's a Johnny Pride made. And now the question is, can I even attack? Like, I can attack with both. The creatures are going to get large. Oops. You didn't see that? I don't think I can here, but you do get to just start picking off creatures. All right. Beginning combat.
Sure.
All right, whatever. We'll attack. Trigger.
So with those triggers on the stack,
Yep.
I'm going to cycle the familiar and deal with the 2/2 Pride Mate. So you're going to get drained for 1. So I'll be at 22, you'll be at 21.
Okay.
And then I will block this Pride Mate with the Death Toucher.
Okay, but first?
Yeah, it gets bigger.
All right, it's dead.
Then I take 3, I go to 19.
Yeah. All right, 19, I'll pass to you. I don't think there's a chance I can win this game, but...
Can I Croxy you this turn? This needs 5 cards, right? Yep.
Yeah.
So that seems difficult without sacrificing significant material.
Yep.
So I will play a Woe Strider, get a goat.
Okay.
I will sacrifice goat and Cauldron Familiar.
Okay.
I will deal the 2 to you.
Okay. I'm at 17 then.
I view at 21, so you'd be at 19.
And then 2 from this to 7.
Oh, yeah. 2 from the priest. So you're at 17. I have 2 black and pool. I draw a card. I will activate the castle, go to 17 myself.
Okay.
So 17 all, and then I will attack the Ajani Strength of the Pride for 3.
All right.
Pass the turn. So I need to get another food to get back this familiar, but...
All right. ECD this.
Well, that makes it easy. Let's sack this.
Yeah.
Deal you 1, get a food.
Yep.
So you're at
Makes
16.
sense. Pass to you.
Sack this, drain you for 1.
Yep.
You're at 15, I'm at 18.
Yep. I don't think there's much I can do here. Priest is going to be good against me. Mayhem Devil is going to be good against me. I can imagine that just any of these white-based strategies are going to get wrecked by Rakdos Sacrifice and Jund Food. All right, that's all I wanted to see was Liliana, even if it's going to wreck me. Let's go.
Plus, each player
Discard? All right.
So I'll discard a Fable Passage.
Yeah, this card was not going to be great anyways.
So attack you for 5.
Okay,
Brings you
down to
10.
10.
It's got 10 to 18, and I'll pass the turn.
All right, Chapter 2, take that. Ugh.
Don't worry, I'm just going to Croxy next turn.
Oh, yeah, I'm so in trouble. Your go.
So end step, loop these, drain you for 1. So 19 to 9.
Yep. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, not much I've been able to do here. You really got to control your creatures. I don't even know. We won't have time to sideboard, but, you know, I have some decent stuff, you know, that come in. This kind of stuff you need in these matchups, I feel.
Yeah. So play Croxa.
I'll take it.
Trigger on the stack. Sack these 2 to the priest.
Okay, so I'm taking
this dies.
5.
And you're taking 5, you go to 4.
Yep.
And I have 2 black in pool.
Yeah, I'm just dead. You attack, sack it, bring it back. I'm done.
I also get to, to play this land, plus this. You lose 3 from that as well.
Yeah.
Don't even have to sack anything.
All right. I'm dead. Thank God we already locked this down, because that match was a beating.
That was indeed a beating.
Yeah, that was a...
I guess it's a 345. We could do a quick sideboard and give you a pity game.
We could do that, or we could answer some questions. It's up to you.
How many questions we got, Rob? We got a big queue.
No, I have to get some in.
Okay, so
get some in.
let's talk, at least talk about the sideboards. Like
we'll do some live sideboarding, and maybe we can sneak in one quick.
I was actually wondering exactly how I would sideboard, because all of this removal seems applicable.
Yeah.
You have planeswalkers, you have cheap creatures.
And that's why I don't even think I was going to bring in Baneslayer, because I knew you were going to have at least some Epic Downfalls, Noxious Grass, Eliminate, stuff like that. I think I just bring in this and try to actually be the control player in this matchup and hope my synergies get online, but I don't know. I just think the more and more I think about it, the more and more I think this matchup just might be really bad. I guess I have to hedge and take... I mean, if I'm going to be on the play... I'm probably just going to want to max out my synergies. All right, we'll do some fast and loose sideboarding, and we'll get some fast and loose games going here. But yeah, we'll probably just take out some of the worst 1-drops here. Gotta be this Marshall, especially against the Cat Oven. I mean, we are Loxodon deck, so, you know, we maybe still just want to maximize that. Yeah, whatever.
I definitely want to go down on Croxas. Just not a card that I need to find early. I like the Lyrises. It's just like how much can I cut into the graveyard part of the deck to play the sacrifice part of the deck, which I think is the better aspect in this matchup.
I think you can probably take out Mire Triton. Mire Triton's probably your weakest card.
But the Death Touch Body is nice against your big creatures, so I guess I'm bringing in a bunch of good removal.
Yeah.
So I'm less concerned about them. It's just a nice like game 1 stopgap.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like, I think you still want Timurit. Timurit might be not great either if you're taking out some stuff, but it seems fine. You got a lot of great removal. We're both trying to be the control route here, which is interesting to see how that develops. But usually when it comes to that, it's the decks that have the most inevitability built into them, and that's definitely you. You know, that is definitely just Cat Oven in a nutshell here.
Okay.
But yeah, what do you got for question? You got at least one for us?
Yeah, I've got 2 here.
Okay.
So in this sacrifice deck, or in sacrifice decks moving forward, there was a card previewed called Village Rites, which is 1 black for an instant. Sacrifice a creature, draw 2 cards. Do you think that card will be playable?
Oh, yeah. And honestly, that was one of the cards where we submitted and then saw this. I built this deck because I really liked Rakdos with Liliana. I thought that was really cool. But yeah, that card, I want to bring, I'll give you a spoiler of the first deck I want to try. And that's just Jund food with that card. I think it's insane. A deck that already produces so much food. So just sacking a cat, drawing 2 cards, and then being able to, sack a food, activate Trail of Crumb or whatever. I think it's going to be excellent in that show.
Yeah, I mean, 1 mana,
an instant speed
that effect
insane.
is
seems like that card
definitely
should have been a
significantly
sorcery,
better. They've printed that effect at 2 mana at an instant, and it was completely unplayable.
Yeah.
But it didn't have the shells that exist now that are really heavy sacrifice decks and are actually just the sacrifice decks that are less blatantly aggressive.
Yeah, it was back in the day you sacrifice something and you were sacrificing one of your things, so it's not great. Like now it's just you have cats that, and I mean it's all cat. If it wasn't for a cat oven, that card wouldn't be playable, I don't think, Like, even if you're sacking, like, Gutter Bones and bringing it back, that's just too much of a tempo swing to you.
Yeah. But sacking, Hunted Witness or putting it in a deck with Luminous Broodmoth and just getting the creature back immediately and drawing 2 cards. If these are decks that are interested in playing a longer game, then it becomes sort of their Thoughtcast.
Yeah.
So that's my comparison for that card. It feels like Thoughtcast, which was, a really cheap, good source of card advantage for a deck that could play a long game, and Affinity really could.
That card, Broodmoth, is a good idea.
If you develop the synergies correctly. So you've got to develop those synergies. Obviously, really cool with Claim the Firstborn too.
Yeah.
Claim your thing, sacrifice it, draw 2 cards.
Feels bad.
Yeah.
Like we need to make Claim better. It's going to be unsafe to play creatures with converted mana cost of 3 or less in the new set, All right, I'm going to play a fast and loose and keep this hand.
Let's go.
All right, your go.
Very fast, very loose. Kitty.
Meow.
You're 19, I'm a 21.
I'm going to let you keep track of life totals.
Sure.
Okay.
Corey out here claiming Uro is going to be bad.
Huh?
You're out here claiming Uro is going to be bad.
Who said that?
Said you can't play 3-mana creatures.
Okay. That's not a 3-drop creature. Okay, that's a Titan. I don't even think I can attack. This is bad. Okay, your go.
Awkward draw. Crocs you.
Okay. Let's go with Linden.
Okay, you can go.
Okay. All right, you remember? Here you go.
That's really good.
Yeah.
You have 2 in hand?
2, yep.
Okay, Luris.
Okay.
You can go.
All right. Pride Mate locks it on. Your go. We're going big.
Huh.
Oh, yeah. This beautiful sight. Turn 4. What do we got? 6, 11, 12, 13, 14. Just 18 power on turn 4. Not bad. Not bad.
I will eliminate the Pride Mate.
Okay. It's been eliminated. Exile or?
Destroy.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
Okay.
Really needed a land there.
Glad you didn't. Let's see. I got 2 decent plays here. I think I'm going to start with Daxos.
Yep.
And we'll crunch in there.
Block an Alseid and lock the 5/5 Loxodon.
Okay, take 7.
But
And I gain
3.
6. Okay.
So I take 4, you gain 6.
Yep.
I'm at 17, you're at 25.
Your go. I think we might get a game here, chat. We might get a game, and who would have guessed? Loxodon, I do think, is one of the cards that got unbanned with the bannings, though, for what it's worth. I think it's a very powerful card that was pretty contained in the last Standard season, and I think it has a chance again.
So this is currently 14.
Just 14. Just 14 damage.
So in order for me...
I'd be impressed.
Pass the turn.
Okay.
Upkeep, grasp the Loxodon.
Okay. So I could sack. That doesn't really do much. Yeah, it's dead.
Yeah. I forgot the Daxus trigger last turn when the LC had died. So you should be at 27.
Okay.
27, 17. You can continue.
No, it's not when it dies. It's when it comes into play.
When another creature you control enters the battlefield or dies.
Or dies. Okay. All right. Never mind. Okay. So yeah, gain 1 there. You're keeping track of my life total.
Yeah.
All right. I will play the Planeswalker. I will negative. I'll attack. Get 3 creatures coming in.
So that's an
Gain
attack for
3.
12. I go to... Oh, yeah. So I go to 5 and you gain a total of 6.
Yep.
So 5 to 33.
Here you go. Is that Noxious Grass getting in there this turn? Okay.
I wish.
Yeah. No 5th land, so no Massacre Girl shenanigans.
3, 4...
You did. You did.
4, 7. Not dead yet.
Okay. Wow, really?
I'll shock to 3.
What? Already not dead.
I will play Luris, and I'll play a Cauldron Familiar.
Okay.
You go to 32, I go to 4.
Okay.
You can go.
I mean, you're not dead, but like really, like, you know.
That'll do it.
Sacking our creature to give this pro black when you're at 4 does not allow you to gain life. And yeah, all right, we got the pity game. But
for whoever was suggesting this should just be a straightforward aggro deck, it was the game where you were a straightforward aggro deck that you won.
100%. And one thing I will say, so far, I am not impressed. Like, sure, there when I'm already ahead, I think it was good. But there were just a lot of situations where it formed a really awkward thing. I don't know. Maybe I am too quick to judge because, of course, it's a super small sample size, but not super impressed so far in this shell. But,
yeah. And once again, this is a card that gets better if you're in a more
beatdowns, yes.
beatdown shell.
Where your opponent cannot afford to be able to attack back.
Yes.
But when you're at a mid-range shell, kind of like we are, it's a mid-range deck that has aggro draws. So realistically, this just could use a lot of work, but it's a rough draft. It's the start. It's going to be a lot better if I'm just playing Dauntless Bodyguard into that 3/1 Adonto Vanguard creature. I think that's going to be a lot better, so we'll see.
Definitely better over Basri.
Or even a red-white deck. A red-white beatdown deck, I bet this would probably be pretty good. I don't know what a red-white deck looks like these days.
Yeah.
We don't have heroic reinforcements or those cards that screamed out red-white.
Every time you're Boris, you're kind of Knights, and it's hard to cast a card like this in Knights because you're playing tournament grounds.
Yeah.
Right?
Or you're Zenith flaring people, but much different deck.
Yeah, very different. So, but, you're putting +1/+1 counters on creatures.
Yeah, not bad. So far, what's your takeaway from the new set? What surprised you? What'd you like? What'd you dislike?
Nothing super surprising. My first impression was that nothing jumped off the page like the last few sets.
Yeah.
I think this set is toned down a bit in power
Which I think
level.
is good. We need to tone Magic down a bit.
And we saw that today. The new cards really didn't outwardly shine.
Yeah. No. I think Ugin looked pretty good. I think that was the best card.
Yeah.
But that's a card we had to expect was going to be a card that's going to look very good right away. It's just if the metagame develops to make it bad or if it really will just shine,
Yeah.
Who knows?
And I think it's pretty clear where the best homes for these cards lie. Like we're talking about, Boss really needs to be more aggressive, and it's really just whether or not the tools exist in the standard environment to maximize the power level of these cards and put them in the right home.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be less about the power level of the cards because they're not overwhelmingly powerful and demanding a shell be built around them the way Oko and some of the other recent cards have done, and more about, is the supporting cast there to make these cards work? Yeah.
And one member of supporting cast that I do want to point out is, I'm going to forget the name every time, but that black removal spell that you had.
Eliminate?
Eliminate, yeah. Eliminate just at all times. I mean, this is a matchup where it's going to shine because you have good creatures and you have planeswalkers that are at 3. But anytime you had that, I felt like you were going to trade up, as in spend less mana to kill something that I spent more for. So I think that card is going to be the real deal.
Yeah, and definitely helps out, and that's a supporting cast across shells.
Super supporting,
So we're trying to, in this Rakdos deck, for example, blend graveyard synergy and sacrifice synergies, and that can be tough to balance. When I was sideboarding, I was like, I don't want to cut too much graveyard stuff, I don't want to cut too much sacrifice stuff, but I've got all this removal I want to bring in.
It's probably too much removal for what it's worth.
And, and you kind of have to pick a lane, Yeah, you can bring down some of the removal, but even bringing in 4 or 5, it starts to get tricky. Like, which element of the deck do I want to cut down from? Do I want to be a much more focused graveyard deck? Do I want 4 Mire Train, 4 Kroxa, and start going that route? If that card ends up being particularly good, you just don't know. So it's tough right now because there are just so many options. We're in such a big format, and we've seen all these cards see plays. We're like, well, this one might be worth it, and this one might be worth it, and now Timurant Calls the Dead could be worth it because you got these other synergies with it. How do we find the right balance of these cards? So.
And go ahead and finish.
A lot of the mediocrity that we saw and sort of disappointing nature of the new cards, I think it could be attributed to us just not finding the exact right shells for them.
Exactly. I think you pointed out something that got me thinking at the beginning of the show is what you look for in 8-set standard is the cards that have maybe fallen out of standard, but they were good at some point, and see what cards can rejuvenate back. And I think that's what this is going to be. Sure, there might be something that's a build around that is still yet to be previewed. More than likely there is going to be something that may create a new archetype. But for the most part, it's what kind of rejuvenation you can put into existing archetypes, not just what's existing in standard right now, but think back to standard a season ago, 2 seasons ago. And it's kind of crazy because there's so many bans in this last year. So like everything has changed dynamically, but there is still, keep that kind of stuff in mind. And like Timurant Calls the Dead, when I saw that Planeswalker, it clicked to me immediately because that curve is great. Turn 3 Timurant into that, and your Planeswalker's online.
Your Planeswalker's online. You get to -3 and have 2 blockers for it if you need it. Then you start scrying 2 and getting rid of your opponent's hand and finding your gas to follow up. I agree. That's a great curve. And honestly, that's hopefully something I would want to be doing in standard if we can.
And I mean, honestly, just think of Cat, whatever. Turn 1 Cat into Kroxa, into Timurant, into Liliana. All of a sudden, they discarded 2 cards, maybe lost a little life here and there. You have a battlefield to protect it, and then all of a sudden you have enough cards to bring back Kroxa next turn as well and tick up Liliana again. By turn 5, you can make them discard 4 cards. They get to pick, of course, but at that point, your hand is gone, so
such a huge resource advantage.
So I actually think that deck is going to be sweet. And I think it's not in its final form yet anyways. So we have plenty to learn, but we have plenty to learn about the new set just in general. Thursday, we are going to be diving right back into preview standard. I know we got a players tour to get ready for this weekend, but you know what? Get rid of that.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. It's Magical Christmas Land. We got new cards. Go win your players tour. I'm even playing in it, and I don't care. I'm going to play. I want to try out new cards. That's what I love doing as a Magic player, is building around new ideas, and I think that's what the vast majority of people really like to do. But winning $8,000 in a players tour is pretty cool too. So not bad. So
not that I would know.
Yeah. You're not invited, right? All right. Can we got any subs to thank?
Yeah, we have a few subs.
Okay.
Raverix subscribed 01377 for 2 months. Fayenman 1056, Spayro for 21 months. Thank you all of our subs.
Awesome. Thank you so much to those 3 subs there. We really appreciate the support here on the SCG channel. And if you want to support us in another way, you can head over to SCG I lost my piece of paper here that I had all my cheats on, but oh, never mind. Okay, perfect. Everyone's got to have a guide a little bit. You know, you got to have a teleprompter in some regards.
You want me to stand behind the camera?
I would like that. Yeah, absolutely. But if you want to sign up for SCG Premium today, it is $7.99. You get access to a ton of awesome authors.
None of whom are named Arthur.
No, we have 0 Arthurs on
0 aardvarks, in case you're thinking that route. Just none.
But we got plenty of great Magic players that are writing a lot of good content on new cards, and Ross is also there too. So there's that. So if you want to sign up for SCG Premium today, you can go to starcitygames.com/join-premium, and other perks that you get, as well as the additional content: 5% off sealed product, 10% off sealed or off singles, and then 15% off supplies. So subscribe today and get some of these sweet perks.
Yes, and included in that supply bonus is the Ultimate Guard line, available on StarCityGames.com. We use the Katana sleeves here on the show.
Yep.
Enjoy them very much. So if you are also a fan looking to pick up your favorite sleeves or other Ultimate Guard products, you will get a 15% discount on checkout if you are a StarCityGames.com premium member.
Make it rain. And if you want even more percentage off cool things, you can head over to Carnox.com/SCG. Use that affiliate link and you can get yourself 10% off one of these awesome comfy gaming chairs that we sit in every day.
Well, twice a week.
Well, twice a week. Yeah.
Because they still haven't sent them for our private use yet.
Oh, I did get one. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, buddy.
Last but not least, we are also sponsored by Coalesce Apparel. If you head on over to coalesceapparel.shop and use the gift code SCG, you will get 10% off of your purchase there, and their great line of Magic-themed shirts. You see Corey sporting the Jim Davis pile driver. That's the Gobble pile driver art right there for those that are unaware.
Yep. Love it.
I'm sporting the Simic Combine.
Mm-hmm. I love the Jim Davis shirt, and we've been big fans of Jim Davis for a while. One of your ex-teammates on BCW as well.
He's okay.
Yeah, he's all right. He's not bad. But yeah, that's going to do it for the show today. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in for our first look at M21 preview season. Make sure to come back on Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to do it all over again, but this time we're going to have more cards. I don't know how many more, but it's got to be a little bit more. I'm guessing they have like 60 more for us or something. So
more is better regardless of the number.
Always more is better. You heard the expert analysis here from Ross Merriam. If you got any cool ideas, we are always open to seeing some cool ideas when it comes to new brews with M21. Feel free to tag Ross or myself on Twitter. Drop some... you didn't let me finish. If you want to drop some new deck ideas, and if you just want to just yell at someone, at Shaheen Sarani is the place to do it. So that is the places to go. I want to thank you so much. So for Corey, Ross, Rob, we are out of here, and we will see you Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern time.